So for tonight, we will have one of the interesting people in startup with food. So he is the president and the managing director of Sugbo Mercado, and who else does not know about Sugbo Mercado, right? So he has a lot of businesses under his belt. A couple of which are the Abbey, Paseo Mall, Cable Car, Cebu, Buddy's Burger, Craft Dogs, George and Peter Lines, and also the very popular Voodoo. So he is the man behind these businesses, and I would like to call on JP Chiongbian.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. So for the flow of tonight's fireside chat, we will start with just a bit of background with JP and his experiences. Then after the short fireside chat, I would like you guys to prepare your questions for him because we will have a Q&A after. Okay, so let's start with how did you get into business and how did you end up with Sugbo Mercado?
Well, first of all, good evening, and thank you all for coming in spite of the rain inside. But it's mic okay? It's on. Hello. So anyways, good evening again. Thank you all for coming in spite of the weather. My name is JP. I'm one of the co-founders of Sugbo Mercado and the president and managing director. Anyways, I started business a long time ago, but later down in life. I think the first business we came into, which changed the pace of the industry, was it's called the Abbey now. A bunch of us friends, about 12 of us, formed what is called the Abbey, the first bar in Waterfront. There was a time Cebu was changing in terms of scenery. Before the time, that was way back 1998. Before 98, only bars that were available to Cebu were City Lights or Jazz Rhythms, or more popularly known like the Bukid, no? You guys know the Bukid is up there in in Busay, parallel to what is now Marco Polo. It used to be by Cebu Plaza, no? Anyway, I'll go back to the bar industry now, where you started the bar industry. People have the wrong notions of the bar industry. People just say sex, drugs, and rock and roll now. Which is true, but it's not true in the internal sense of the way. We do business before. People from Manila or first world countries from the States or Europe would come down here, meet with businessmen. Of course, with us being laid back from a tropical city or country, we'd be meeting with them in shorts, slippers. Bahala na who you are here, or what family we have. And when you walk out of that meeting, people say these people are nice and humble, but I don't know. They're just wearing shorts, no? It's this perception of people. No, I don't care who you are, but if you're wearing shorts in a meeting, I don't know if you should trust this guy, you know? So going back to the bar industry, these were the bars before that was given to us, the Bukid lang, or we have our own fun. We just go to Mario Luisa, I don't know. You're known, you know these places like the Question Mark, or we just hang out in villages where construction wasn't, weren't houses yet. And make our own fun, buy drinks, just drink there. So we wanted a venue, we wanted to change all these. Now when Waterfront came about, the owner, which is a good friend, Sherwin Gachalian, who's Senator Sherwin Gachalian now, and a bunch of us made the Abbey. The Abbey was a concept like a church, no? We dressed all the waiters and monks, we upped the level of the bar business, the bar industry. It was the first bar that the capital was kind of big during the time, and the concept was really nice. It's really, really nice. And timely, there was the Village and IT Park, and we had Ayala Entertainment Center. So these are one-stop shops, no? People just go park their cars, and you have 5 or 10 bars or restaurants to go into. Moving forward, that's what killed the Abbey. These are one-stop shops. And during the time, the music at the time was trance or progressive or what people would call rave, no? It's loud or fast-beat music. So me, the way I think or the way I was programmed or the way I am programmed is I want to always go against the norm. And what is the norm? The norm are traditional things, mainstream things that people just go to. Let's say you're let's say you're into weaving, but like the thing nowadays, like painting. You'd rather go paint because, munang uso ron, munang atong habitat as Cebuanos or Filipinos. But for me, I believe always, in anything you do, you shouldn't be ashamed of. Because everything you do, there's always a niche market too. There's always a market to do that, but you just have to have the will to do it. So, that said, I wanted a place where people could go out and talk. Because, the reason why I go out is to enjoy with my friends and to talk how your day came out to be, or how you are, and whatever. The bars those times are like too loud, and you can't talk at all. Hence, we created the first establishment here in Crossroads called Voodoo Lounge at the time. It was way back 2001. Moving forward, we were the longest lasting bar in Cebu. We lasted for 14 years. Not only did we last 14 years, we're known internationally. We came out in magazines like Condé Nast, which is the #1 travel magazine in the world. We came out in Asia Travel. We were known all over, internally and externally. No? The way we did things in Voodoo during that time, we went against the norm. So we brought back jazz, pop, or lounge music, hence Voodoo Lounge. But also I believe, not to only stick with what you believe in, but you have to go with the times in a way, or evolve, or for short, reinvent yourself. No? So hence, Voodoo Lounge, in 14 years, we renovated it 5 times. So in those 5 times, we spent more than 12 million. No? That 12 million can be pocketed, but we didn't. We always place back money in the business to reinvent ourselves. So from Voodoo Lounge, in 2 years' time, we made the first 2-level bar in the whole Cebu. So we had lounge music, dance music downstairs, and lounge music upstairs. Then we made it 2 DJs. From Voodoo Lounge, it became Voodoo Bar, then it became Club Voodoo, then it became 3 establishments. So what you see now at Chiongbian is Voodoo Lounge with a with a club, with a bar, then we had a single malt lounge. And after that, I sold everything. I'll fast forward everything, no? Just so you'll know in general what I did. Then I'll just go into details because everything I did until now always connects me to the past. So moving forward, after 2014, I got married. So the bar business, everyone goes like, how do you last 14 years? And in those 14 years, I created also something called formal. So since Voodoo was more into the young market, we created formal to cater to the more mature market. Then during the time also, we created the first open-air mall in the whole Cebu, which is called Paseo. The time people would tell me, are you crazy? Are you putting up a mall? Okay, it's a bold move by putting up open-air mall, but are you putting it in F. Cabahog? F. Cabahog is where Sykes is where Card Zone is where Cusina Uno is, it's where Bonifacio District is now. I don't know if you're familiar with the place. It's where CIE is now. There's nothing there before when we placed Paseo. It's all fields, nothing. But I believe I always believe in the notion or the cliche, you build it and they will come. You gotta believe in your beliefs now. So when we built it there, because traffic. Traffic was from Paseo, all the way from that area to Castle Peak. Every day. But the wrong business plan we had there, we created this, I'll go back. It's when Mango Square closed. I don't know if you remember that time, when Mayor Tommy closed it down because of course it's junior school, there are just too many restrictions. That was restricted by the tenants. The wrong business plan we had there when we created Paseo is less than 5 years, they reopened Mango Square. There's no public utility vehicles in Cabao at the time, nothing. So that's what made it go the other way. So within the 14 years, that's what we created, no? Voodoo, Formo, Paseo. And in the food business, we created something in the Philippines called Holy Kettle Corn. This is before Kettle Corn. Concepcion is not here, no? But they copied us. They wanted to buy our business before, but we wanted to keep it within the family. My cousin Derek was the one who created it, and I expanded it here in Visayas and Mindanao. In less than a year, we had 120 branches all over the Philippines. Now moving forward also, you're competing against Concepcion, RFM now. They own Negosyo and other industries. So you can't really go against a giant. But we were always like, no, entrepreneurs. We never would sell ourselves to big businesses, so we closed it down. We didn't close it down, but we put it on pause. Actually, we sold some parts of it to Chef Tony's. So we're still on some shelves now. So it's Holy Kettle Corn, Chef Tony's now, and we have Kettle Corn of consumption. So we had that in 14 years. We created not just businesses, we created institutions. Institutions that benchmark each industry. So from the Abbey way back 1998 to Voodoo way back 2000, we benchmarked the bar industry, creating not, I would say, competition, but partners in business. So you'd have like the Loft, Penthouse, and all these industries. Because of course, if you put a bar, it would be much better than the other bar. And you know, going back again to what I said, in perception, people wouldn't dress. Are you guys following me?
Yes.
In Voodoo, we applied strict dress codes. That's when Ayala opened and SM. I go, you know what? The only time I can wear these things I buy from Ayala, SM, or whatever, suits, would be in weddings or New Year's or Christmas. So we applied strict dress codes. People that time, we said no shorts, no slippers, no caps, no bowler caps, no sleeveless shirts. So people would be wearing what they wear in parties to the club or to the bar every weekend. Diba, if you wear barong in a wedding, you'd be talking formally, diba? Kung naka-shorts ka sa beach, bugoy ka, diba? So it means perception. What you wear is what you are and what you act. And that's what we wanted for Cebu, to put Cebu on the map through the bar industry. People would be coming to Cebu to play golf or close business deals. You can close a deal like this or see the culture of one space in the bar, diba? Malingaman ang mga guests mo sa bar, diba? And that's when you really free-spread them to really show, and they'd see the culture and the vibe of one space in the bar. So anyway, that's how we help the community in the multiplier effect. Like now, people buy more clothes to go out more often because other places be opening because of what we open. Second, no smoking. The no smoking rules implemented now. We implemented that way back 2003. Even if it's not implemented, we said, you know, people wear their clothes here, but usi kayo, it's not like smoke, no? So they would say no smoking in the second floor, you can smoke in the first floor. So there are a lot of guidance and rules we implemented since before. So, like bans. During the time, Radsky in Ayala Entertainment Center, you got jukebox where Pump used to be in Grand Convention, no? They're playing all cover bands, show bands, no? So I grew up in the time way back 80s where new wave rock and roll was the hit. So I wanted to revive the alternative bands, Johnny and Walker's, 40 the band, I don't know if Katsuki's here, and other bands, no? We supported these bands and we went against the North. So we placed that on a Wednesday. So our Wednesdays were a hit. So we had acoustic nights on Thursdays, to the point even on a Tuesday we had voodoo yoke nights in a bar. Who would do this? But as I said, going back, whatever you feel like doing, do it. Because there's always a niche market for it. Okay? So, after 14 years, got married, had 2 kids. So I said the bar can't be. Because the secret in any bar business is, it's like your house. If you invite guests to your house, you always host them. You give them the best service or give them the best of what you have. If you cannot attend to the bar, then might as well go shop, diba? So, moving, 3 years after, 2 years after, 2016, I noticed a lot of hole in the walls opening up, Cebu and Mactan. Just like Meximama and Mactan, you got OSG, Oriental Spice Gourmet, you got Surf and Ribs and all that. There's a lot of good restaurants opening in good locations, but no parking or banking on foot traffic per wala, no? So basically what we wanted to do is create a venue. This is the entrepreneurship mind we always have now. So we wanted to create a venue in where we can gather all these hole in the walls or all these entrepreneurs, food entrepreneurs as we call them, and put them in there. And also guide them in a way by putting the basic guidelines in your venue. Hence, we're looking for space I think they invited us in front of Moon Cafe in IT Park. But going around, we saw that place in front of E-Block 2. It's all Lasang, no? The only thing that was there is the Avida showroom. So I go, can we have this place? We go, sure. So we started Sugbo Mercado, you know what? Exactly 2 years from now, tomorrow, which is second anniversary. So we started with 18 tenants. Not really a good mix, but like 60% Pinoy and 40% of everything else. 2 years after now, we are 60 tenants, and we came to a height of, I deal with all the tenants personally. We came to a height of 180 tenants last year. So at that time we had, our main branch is Sugbo Mercado IT Park, that's what we call the garden block. And we did pop-ups. Pop-ups because like we wanted to see, this is a new industry in Cebu. Even the government didn't know how to tax us. Because the only way they knew how to tax food markets are during Christmas, no? But they never taxed a weekend food market. So they came up with a special bracket for us. So by creating a new industry, we wanted to test the market. So that time when we had a garden block, we were strong 45 tenants. When you opened Cebu Business Park, 6 months after, we were 45 tenants. But I noticed like every month it would be declining from 45 to 35. After 6 months, we did pop-ups. We didn't do long contracts. So I knew I wanted to see. So our contract in Cebu Business Park was 6 months. After 6 months, we were 18 tenants. And our foot traffic in the garden block was at that time like 2,500 every day on an average. That's why it can support 45 tenants. So when we opened Cebu Business Park, the 2,500 became 1,000, and our tenants in Cebu Business Park were declining. So after studying that, we noticed in Cebu City, because our goal at that time, when you did the food market, you go, I want to open 4 Sugbo Mercados within the city. That's Cebu Business Park, that's IT Park, that's SRP, that's Mandaue, and 1 in Mactan. That's the main goal for Sugbo Mercado. So I noticed that we learned in Cebu City mismo, you can only open 1 food market that can accommodate 60 tenants. You can open other food markets, but the most 20, even 18. Because the foot traffic cannot sustain the market. Diba? For every 20 tenants, you should at least have 1,000 foot traffic, or 1,500 to sustain 20 tenants. As of today, we have 5,000 people on an average every night at Sugbo Mercado from Thursdays to Sundays. So that's why our highest, out of 60 tenants, our highest tier market, our highest tier would be 15 of them would make 250,000 a month. That's net, that's not gross. The mid-tier tenants would make at least 100, 150,000. The lowest tier tenants would make 20 to 30,000 a month. These are all net. By working 4 times a week, and you don't have to quit your day job at 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. and having fun. So, do you want me to, or you still have questions? You want me to go further and explain what Sugbo Mercado is? So as I said, we wanted to create 4 Sugbo Mercados within the city and 1 in Mactan. And we opened SRP. When we opened SRP, it sustained the market, but we just paused it for a while because we came out with a new business plan. After having been awarded by the Department of Tourism by being the first food market in the Visayas and to support market entrepreneurs or food entrepreneurs, we came out with a business plan. So the business plan or the business model of Sugbo Mercado is 1 weekend food market and 1 everyday food market. And that was our advocacy to begin with. When we do business, we don't do business for ourselves, but we do business because of the passion of Cebu. And that's why I go back to voodoo and everything else. For what we wanted in Cebu is like we wanted to empower all these new graduates to be job creators, not job seekers. We wanted advocacy. We wanted to advocate that through this food market. Nowhere in Cebu can you come up with a business plan and say you make the best burger in Cebu right now. If you open in a mall right now, you're gonna die in less than 5 months. You have a 5-month deposit. It's already 150 to 200,000 on hand. With your renovation, close to $500,000. Our rental in Sugbo Mercado for the weekend food market for the 4 days, Thursdays to Sundays, I'll just round it off to round figures, 37,000. It seems high. But how do we support entrepreneurs this way? We tell them they can pay us in 4 equal PDCs, which comes out to 9,250. The most you'll spend in the market to renovate your tent, because with the rent, we give you a tent for free, the table, 2 chairs, electricity is for free, unless you go over 1,500 watts. So the most you'll spend is like 20,000 in your booth. That depends how many deep fries you'll buy, or microwave, or rice cooker, that's up to you, but the most is 20,000. And your tarpaulin in the back for the backdrop. So if you're like your lowest tier tenant that makes 25,000, then bawi can less than 1 month. If you're like our highest tier tenant, then you're bawi in 1 day. So there's nowhere in Cebu that you come out with any concept that you have and go nowhere else and incubate your product. Hence, what we are is we are the incubators of your food concepts now. That's what we do. At the same time, give guidelines and to protect each one of you dealing with 60 tenants on how not, and to police everyone, no? So we have exclusiveness. The exclusive in the food product depends on your food product. So for lechon belly, say tulukabok, for like popsicles, like Tipsy Pops, they're exclusive. For baked goods, it depends. Like we protect each one for the best interest of everyone. I'll stop there now. It's not to confuse anyone, but do you guys have any questions? Like, so everyone's on thought?
Yeah, so for those who have food ideas, so what are the things that they should already prepare before if they want to bring it to Sugbo Mercado?
Oh, well, the first question we ask, like, if anyone calls me or emails us, like, what's your food concept? Because a lot of people call us, we get more than 50 calls a day. And like, that's my number personally that you see on the tarpaulins there, if you see that. So, a lot of people just ask, just inquire to make their own business. So our step first guide is like, I ask them like, what's your food concept? And if you go, mine's like rice topping, I go, can you be more specific? Is it Thai? Is it European, whatever? Now if they give me their specific food product, next up is like a food tasting. Food tastings anywhere from Monday to Wednesdays, 1 to 3 p.m. at our office. And that's when we give our interviews. That's where we do our Q&A with you. So we do it face-to-face.
What do you think are the food ideas that are more likely to be selling better?
Well, when we started, we started with 18. Out of the 18 in 2 years, we have 9 of them that stayed behind or that are still with us. So these are our anchor stores. No? Number 1 is BPT, this Banana Pancake Trail. BPT or Banana Pancake Trail is a lingo in backpackers. No? That's Southeast Asia. So the number 1 signed product is the Pad Thai. The Pad Thai, they went to all the best Pad Thai stalls and street food to high end. They got the best recipes and they made that. So and we have Nikumaki. These are Japanese rice rolls. It's not being served in any Japanese restaurant here. It's like Japanese rice rolled in bacon, smothered in special sauce. So it's more international. So more people go. The essence of a food market. I'll go back. We are also created through social media. So, okay, I'll go back to the best burger idea now. Even if you have the best burger, you open the mall, you don't die. Why? Because all the local and international franchises are there. You're competing against giants. You're not even known. So here at Sugbo Mercado, there's always a 6-month period I give them, or we give them, like, you incubate yourself, we teach you how to, not we teach you, but we provide the venue that we create and guide you on how to serve, package, and especially put your product on the map. How? Because when we started 2 years ago, we became a social media haven or heaven, no? You can't go to the mall and take a picture of Jollibee and put it on Instagram. That's nothing new. So when they went to Sugbo Mercado or they found out about Sugbo Mercado, people just went crazy. We have more than 100,000 in our hashtags right now if you go to Sugbo Mercado. People just went crazy, like taking pictures of all these new products, Not only that, but the dynamic of a food market is the constant change. So we tell our tenants, we're not going to kick you out of here if you're here after 6 months, but thank you. But you have to change the look, you have to change your menu, And it's a constant change. So dealing with 150 or at the time 160 tenants is like really not stressful, but for me overwhelming.
How do you get to balance between the pressures of the people going to Sugbo Mercado and then the pressures with your tenants as well?
I think we were built for pressure before. I mean, having all those 4 businesses before, like Voodoo, Formo, Paseo, then we had Holy Kettle Corn. At the same time, me and my cousin Jay Adigar, we made one of the first cable TVs in Cebu called Cebu Cable TV, Channel 28. And at that time, we also had one of the biggest events company in Visayas called ESC, or Event Solutions Company. So we did all the Huawei shows from Vismin and MOR. We activated Globe, Regional, and also Smart at the same time. So I think we were programmed for stress.
Yeah, so since Sugbo Mercado started, we have seen like several food markets trying to also imitate how you guys have been doing. So how do you keep the pace and always stay on top of the food market?
Well, what's important in any business is the branding, no? So once you created a brand, then you're really there. So no matter, we don't call them competitors, we call them partners. I mean, the more the merrier. I mean, you know, going back, I mean, as we said, our advocacy is like to create make more people to create more businesses, no? Hence, like in 2 years, there's more than 12 businesses that went out to Sugbo Mercado. Let's say John Lemon, Riquitos, you have Queso, you have Papa Churros. It's a multiplier effect. They have more than 20 branches, so 20 times 4, that's already like 80 employees outside. By having 60 tenants already inside, we have already 240 employees that we created, or business jobs created. Because per booth or per tent, we only allow four people to work in. For half booth, we're very strict, we go 2. For full booth, we have 4.
So where do you see, now that Sugbo Mercado has reached 2 years, where do you see Sugbo Mercado in the coming year?
Oh, we're gonna be there forever. No, seriously, because as I said, this business model we're doing, nowhere in Cebu or Visayas or Mindanao can you put your product, and your only capital is 20,000 pesos, no security deposit, and no monthly advance. As I said, if you're a lowest tier tenant, then bawal ka na in 1 month. But not only that, I don't want to call it mortality rate, no, or failure rate. We call it back to the kitchen rate. So that's 10%. Meaning out of 60 tenants, 6 will always close shop within a month. And we tell them just to reevaluate their food, reevaluate their marketing, service, packaging. So out of 60 tenants, 54 make it through. So that's a very, very, very good hit rate in any business standards. No? So you're saying in 1 month, 54 already made money, made a profit. You can't find that in any business model in Cebu. So moving forward, what we're proud to announce, which we're announcing actually next week, is, and this is the business model for Sugbo Mercado. Sugbo Mercado, the only Sugbo Mercado in Cebu will be in the Garden Block. We're creating another brand, hopefully another brand that becomes successful, called The Market. Now you have to give credit in Manila. The first ones who started this was Salcedo and Mercato. You know? But the thing there, by paving the way for others always see where you're going, and then you're stuck in that box. No? By being an entrepreneur, you always have to see or look everywhere. Now, in Manila, what paved the way in the food market now is the Farinas sisters. They created the first food container park. Now, if you've been to Sugbo Mercado, if you know any, if you know any of our tenants, they'll tell you, kinakapoy na Sugbo Mercado is the Ingres and Egres, okay? So, when you're like today, even if it's raining, they hit the Ingres, no? And before, when we were like Fridays, Saturdays only, we don't allow you to keep your things there. You have to egress that morning. So, if you're ingressing now, after operations at 1 a.m., or we didn't own the assets, everything is rented, no? So, that's why we take our tents out, the wiring, everything. So before, the Ingres and Egres, so like, now, And there's no monthly deposit, I said. By creating this new thing, we're launching this next year, first quarter. It's called the market. It's going to be the first food container food market here in Cebu. It's going to be 2 levels, nicely designed, and fully covered. You know, so if I can beg for your indulgence, like if you can just know where I'm going. As I said, you start the Sugbo Mercado. You're against 60 other food tenants. You're ingressing, you're egressing, and you start out with no monthly deposit or no monthly advance. After 6 months, because that's the time. After 6 months, either you go to the mall, or you put up your own standalone. So after you open this market next year, we're gonna pick 25 people there that have been overstaying or have passed 6 months, and put them to the everyday food market. Now, in the everyday food market, what's the difference? It's like from high school to college. So after which, if you want to proceed like your master's degree before going to a mall, you come to the market, which is every day, you give us 1 month deposit, 1 month advance, and then you renovate your own 10-foot container. So now you have renovation costs, and now you only compete against 25 people, all exclusive, non-competing to whatever. So after a year with us, so what we're doing right now is like an on-site entrepreneurial food school. So after a year with us, 6 months in Sugbo Mercado, 6 months in the market, you're really ready to go to the mall. Not only ready financially, ready marketability, social media, and just ready to do business now. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And if you ask me how long Sugbo Mercado is going to be there, as I said, it's going to be there for a long time. That's why we're advocating all the time, like, yeah, to be job creators and come to Sugbo Mercado.
So what are the other insights or opportunities that you see in the food industry for Cebu? Because I know like Cebu people are hard to please, so what do you think are other opportunities that maybe they have like food ideas that they can still capitalize on?
Well, a lot. I believe the Cebuanos are very skilled now. I mean, what started me out here really, like, I went to CIS and like all my classmates went to the States for college. I stayed behind. So everybody who come here, from my cousins to my friends from Manila, I really show them Cebu. Like, ihambog na akong Cebu ba? That's like the bar, so I had to make a really nice bar. So moving forward to the food business, Cebuanos are very skilled. Very, very skilled, very creative. In fact, like our products, I'm not trying to compete, but if you have to compare, our food products or our products compared to Manila are far different. People in Manila are just more first world or more creative than us in terms of packaging and marketing. Only in the past year or past 2 years the most, like big businesses are really knowing how to market or spending for marketing. I'm sure there are a lot of cash cards. Like, could you put your Bisaya? Good. But now, because of the competition of money coming in here, people are really knowing how to spend for marketing or advertising. So yeah, the difference, we have a far more superior product, but we didn't know or don't know how to market us. So hence moving forward, if there's another product similar but lesser, but they know how to market and put their product out there, then they'll be more known than us. But now I think we're really competing now in that field.
So apart from the food industry, do you see other businesses that you would want to do in the future apart from Sugbo Mercado? What are your other business ideas that you've been looking to work on?
Well, I think I'm really built for the bar business, so we're going to reopen something like Voodoo soon. I mean, not only that, I mean, when we closed Voodoo in Formo, actually they closed it, I sold it to some other partners, and they were in a different field. I noticed there's really nothing here. There's a bar, but people go to the bar, but because it's a bar, it's not really their home. There's no new concepts. Concepts are still the same what we do before in Voodoo, exactly the same in Formo. Not for anything else, but there's still 80s night. I mean, we created the 80s night way back in Formo. People are still doing that. That shouldn't be no more. I mean, you should always. For me, people are really scared to put their thoughts down because they always want to copy the mainstream, ba? So yeah. Anyways, we're putting the bar because there's a big hole in the 25 to 45-year-old market. So most of the people going out right now are from 16 even to 21. And as you said, the millennials are majority off now. I mean, nothing bad with that. But I think there's a big gap in the bar industry which we can fill in. But going back to Sugbo Mercado, since you started me out with that, I'm very passionate about this business because, like, as I said, like there are a lot of people who quit their jobs. A lot of people have closed their main stores just to, so that responsibility given to us is like not heavy, but we're proud to be responsible for you. Like for example, Surf and Ribs. They instead of working or opening the main store in Sky, they closed it because that time we were only open two times a week, Friday and Saturday. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they were making more money in 2 days than 5 times a week and having fun. And also we created an ecosystem inside the 60 tenants. We have people there who own hotels, who own drugstores, the biggest drugstores in Cebu. There are people who are just working, who just graduated college. There are people who work in call centers. But the playing field is equal. And then, as I said, the ecosystem, people would be selling to each other because they own a meat shop, they'd be getting meat from them, ice, production plant, packaging. So we created a business or ecosystem within Sugbo Mercado. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so what are your advice, like for your final say on people who are planning to start up their own food businesses? What would be your main advice to them?
Just do what you want to do. I mean, whatever you feel like doing, don't look at others, just create. And tell us when you want to do your food tasting. No, but going back, if I didn't confuse you, because I mean, that's the way I talk. I mean, jump from one topic to the other. But going back to Sugbo Mercado, that's why we're here. We created this 2 years ago. We started with 18 tenants, now we're 60 strong. We're not here for the numbers. We can always replicate this Sugbo Mercado anywhere. But as I said, we are advocates of food entrepreneurs. Hence, we created this business model. So 60 tenants the most in IT Park, and we're opening an everyday food market, which is like going to high school, to college. So in hindsight, you start 6 months, and 6 months after, if you don't go to an everyday food market, that's your option. And after which, after a year, I think you're ready to spend $500,000 already to enter the mall. But in any which way, I think we're very proud that we did our clicker count 2 months ago. I think 5,200 on an average from Thursdays to Sundays every day. You don't see that in any food court. They're not window shopping, they're not there babu now. Even rainy now, I think we have a clicker count right now of 1,500 if I'm not mistaken. People still go there. Because I think we've created a brand, and not only brand, we've created opinion makers. There are 2 sets of people when it comes to the food business now. You go sa may kalahi sa mga tao, tigato sa Ayala Mall or SM, sa food court. The people who go there are mainstream. When you go to the mall, you're there to shop or eat, but you're not there to give opinions. The people going to Sugbo Mercado now are the opinion makers. They'll make and break or break you. So it makes our venue more credible. So people, if I want to test my food, I put it the acid test. I compete against 60 tenants. I go there, bahala na basa, ingress on a Thursday. But now you can ingress on Sunday, not every day na. And then, get my product on Instagram, hashtag, Facebook, and then I'll see after a month. But we always tell our new tenants, you cannot just come in Sugbo Mercado say, we canceled our weekly pop-ups already. Like people say, pwede kumukag 1 week lang. It'll just disappoint you. Of course, if you have to test your product, the acid test now is 3 months. Because if you go to Sugbo Mercado now, you already know where to go. Nanang kay sungke ba? Now you see new tenants, they'll just catch you like maybe the next week or makadog ka. So next time you'll go to the tenant is 2 weeks after. So the time for pickup is always 3 months. For example, I don't know if you know a tenant of ours, it's one of our strong tenants called Pork Barrel. I don't know if you know that. These guys were selling 2,000 pesos a day. No one again anyway. So we kept on teaching them. They stayed for us for 4 months. And they were making 6,000 a day. 5,000 a day already, 5,000 a day with us, and right now 6,500 pesos a day with us is you'll be cutting your cost pa. You'll be on a break-even point. So over that, you'll be profit. Anyways, like during that time, they made 4,000. After 4 months of staying with us, because it takes time for people to know you there. After 4 months, you know how much they made? They called me 8 p.m. I go, it's ka na sani. Reklamo na sani, ay natin. I get calls, grabe, I mean, and I entertain these calls. So as I said, that's my number on there, on the board. They go, JP, I go, ma'am, what's man? Siya, na-sold out na me. I go, ha? Mao ba? Because sige, double your stocks tomorrow because that's a Thursday. And he called me the next day, 9 o'clock, like 10. JP, what? I go, na-double sold out me. When they say double sold out, they're making 45,000 pesos a day until now. So, they're really making money. So, as I said, they're part of the 200,000 plus net a month. You know? In our height, like John Lemon, see John Lemon, John Yap, they own 360 Mall Pharmacy. He used to own Kusina Nasing, and he created John Lemon. At that height, people were making so much money because we had 3 venues, no? IT Park, Cebu Business Park, and SRP. So if he was making 40,000, it was 40,000 all around. That's 120,000 a day. So these people were making close to $1 million a month with a 5 square meter food stall by working only 3 times a week. So just crazy money and good branding also.
Yeah, so now we're gonna open the floor for questions. So anyone who wants a question.
Hi, good evening. Sir, my name is Ryan, and I'm just wondering, for perhaps small entrepreneurs like many of us, I mean, parang naman sa birthing pain, what we fear most, like, the risk of actually starting, the whole thing about starting anything. So, can you tell us more about, say, the oldest, most established tenant that you have across the 60, among the 60? How much different is it from the newest guy in there?
It's no difference. Okay, BPT, Banana Pancake Trail. They're one of our strong tenants or anchor tenants. Si JD Sulit and his wife. They were supervisors for, I think, not mistaken, teleperformance. On the 3rd month alone, they quit their jobs. And they're just banking on. Now they're doing so well. They did so well that they did so well even before that they didn't open with CTP or SRP. But also, there's sometimes like people don't open because they're entrepreneurs now. So you have to tell them, oh, you gotta train more staff, get more staff to open. Usi kayo, but you gotta roll with it. So going back, birthing pains will always be there. There's some, okay, among all the 60 tenants, of course, there's some that'll make like thousands in the first day, and there's some that you have to wait like 4 months, like Pork Barrel. You have to really sustain it. Now, if you're weak and you don't believe, I believe there's nothing called as failure. I believe you call it as a learning experience. No? Without any learning experience, you'll never get to success. Without failures, you're not going to get successful. Anyways, like birthing pains will always be there. You have to just strive and always believe in what you have. Believe in your core fundamental of your concept and stick with it, make it better. Once you make simang, like say, uy, kopyanan na ako silingan, you're gonna die. I mean, you're gonna fail. So just believe in it. You know, for everything for every concept you take in originally, you're always gonna succeed. There's always a market for everything. You just have to put it out there and strengthen your product and make a brand out of it.
Okay, so as a follow-up on that, I asked about the most established tenant and the newest guy. Diba? So the newest guy, let's say, I mean, for example, in that story, those 2 supervisors of a call center company. Were they the least experienced in the food business industry? You think?
That time, when we opened 2 years ago, not really, because they were foodies already. We had the least experience, like, I remember, yeah, mostly those stay-home moms, stay-home mothers, or people just right out of college. Like, they have something, they have a thought, or they cook in their house. For a while, you experience you know what? In our 6 months of operation, problema kami kolekta ba? Collecting the money. So I said, across the board, our contracts are monthly. So we have a very unique way of doing contracts. We never do 1 year. It's every month. It's a new industry. So you have to change our contracts by policing each other, putting new guidelines every month. So one of the sponsors said, no more cash. Only cash payments kung 1 whole month and we deduct 1,000 pesos, we give 1,000 pesos discount, or open a checking account. So I had to talk to all our personal bank managers from our business, from BDO to BPI, to say, hey, I'm gonna give you the time 120 tenants, 120 new accounts. Can you please lower your 10,000 pesos opening checking balance to 5,000? And they accommodate us. And no waiting time. I guarantee each tenant, we go to any bank to show your IDs, you'll have your checkbook in less than 1 hour. So, going back to your question, the non-experience, 70% of them never had a checkbook in their life. I'm talking about college students to mothers. So that way, by opening a checkbook alone, we're making them one step further to be a businessman. So yeah, it's the culture in Sugbo Mercado is from everything. You have businessmen, I said, like people who own like pharmacies, to someone who didn't know anything. But they stuck with their core idea of doing business and their core product, like cupcake, panindutong ginako. Of course, they're like, as I said, trials. But when they come back stronger. If they don't come back, then, at least they tried. And I said it's 20,000 pesos. If you're 4, I mean, it's really, I don't mean to say nothing, but it's compared to opening up anywhere else.
Right.
Mall and Chongwa. So,
Because 25 man na siya. Usually, kung 25, usually I think, ang i-accommodate ng katong naanan.
no. Actually,
Is it raffle or sa kaya maglisod tanay so?
Dili, no. I forgot to mention, like, we created this thing. Externally, it's a competition, no? It's a contest. But internally, it's a new way of getting tenants or screening them. We launched something called the Food Entrepreneur, no? We launched it, the first batch was last couple months back. And we're launching again next month, October. What is the Food Entrepreneur? Food Entrepreneur is a competition in where you showcase a unique food product and the prize money is 20,000 pesos cash. A 6-month course in ICA worth 50 or 80,000. Then GC's a total price of 100,000, no? And also free booth worth 37,000. Now what is that? We notice also if you have like a burger, let's say I go back to burger, like the best burger. But most people when they go to Sugbo Mercado, not may like a producto, but there's no renovation in their booth, no service, no nothing. So it affects everything. If you don't put a good display to your product or make your booth nice, as I said, you're competing against 60 other tenants. Their booths are really nice, their service is really good, their uniforms, etc. So what is Food Entrepreneur? You start with us, the first week, yes, we teach you how to do packaging. Second week is social media marketing. Third week is mentoring program. When I say mentoring program, we get known businessmen in Cebu, like for example, J. Aldiger or Bunny Pajes, or the first, in this case, the first one we had was the main chef for ICA, no? To mentor them in business. And the fourth week is like on-site competition, Sugbo Mercado has the highest sales. So after that, after 1 month of being the food entrepreneur, pag sold mo na mo, iba nag-istra mo sa bisyo. Because your success is our success, diba? Because even if you don't know how to serve, and your booth doesn't look that good, people say, but yan yung Sugbo Mercado, eh? So that's why we want to say we provide a venue to incubate people, but in a way also, I want to say we also guide them to business. Because I don't think mentoring program really works in the Philippines. Like, they hold your hand all the way kayo. Basahe, abusado kayo tabalik. Ha? But nga, ani mo eh, waman ni saka kong negosyo. It's not the mentor's fault, it's my fault. You just there to guide my hand. Diba? It's too personal. When it comes to personal things in the Philippines, our culture is to blame someone. So I don't want to say we have a mentoring program, but I want to say we always guide you. Again, I repeat, that's my number. My number is there all the time for inquiries and with my partners.
Going back to the market, I know 25 is very limited and ang kanang nasa kanang garden block, ganahan dyan na siya mo So, number one, pila na yung sign up or napa by vacant or how do we sign up? I think some of us here are
You join the food entrepreneur. It's either
just so no other way.
yeah, because like we don't accept new tenants in the market. It's either you're existing in Sugbo Mercado, because when you come to the market, you're already prepared. You've already graduated, as I said, you've already graduated high school. No, and
Yeah, but what if you're surfing ribs? You already have existing surfing ribs and you just so you have to go two ways, just entrepreneur and then the Sugbo Mercado
you have
first.
to start Sugbo Mercado. Exactly. I go back to your thing like, how about existing branded na like surfing ribs? Every new tenant or every food product that wants to come inside Sugbo Mercado, our first and very strict step is a food tasting. We've had, I'll name names, most of the big restaurants here in Cebu, local, branded, always said na, "Wa, di mo katilaw na mo." Sharo. Sorry, but that's our step. In a new industry, you have to be very strict with your rules. Because once you go haywire like that, may man tao, itan, nag-drive pa kong layo. Gikan car ka, mag-food tasting sa lake. Dato ni Sir, sa lake na restaurant, one food tasting. Our rules are across the board.
Okay, agreed. Going back to the best burger, next question. Going back to the burger, right? You said that kung nahanap ko yung best burger, I need to try ipak. I mean, I cannot go to the mall straight because I have no deposit or something, capital. But if I have the best burger and you already have the burger in Sugbo Mercado, you don't allow it, magdobo. So let's say I have a burger concept and you have a burger, or I have a ribs and I serve ribs. How do I go about?
Well, if we're talking about burger now, like burger we allow two. The only exclusive things we have there are like, as I said, like unique crafted products like Pepsi Pops, unique. Churros is unique. Sweet Fix. I don't know about no Sweet Fix kanang ice cream, nitrogen ice cream or dry ice cream.
So in short, if I have a burger product, na existing ng burger, so I cannot sell because you're limited.
Well, right now, if you're saying burger per se, like specifically burger, we can accommodate you because we have only one burger now.
Okay. How about sisig?
Kana exclusive ang sisig.
Exclusive. How about crispy pata?
Papay may crispy pata. You see, okay, I get a lot of calls every day like, "Sir, Rico, unsa may produkto ninyo?" Siya, food. And go, no, it's a specific food product that you have because ang among first step is food tasting. Sir, siya, ka ng foods. Of course, I can say, what's the difference as food of foods? I can't say that, I can make pastos. But I'm like, kaya specific ba, asa nagikan? Thai, or whatever. Siya kang Pinoy good yan, suba-suban ko. Kaya manok. We entertain discussions 100% a day. Pero, we still have to cater them. But going back to the food, no disrespect, not to Larsans or whatever. We're not the Larsans. A food market, people come to us because it's unique. Now, it goes crispy pata, let's say not crispy pata, let's say adobo. Adobo. Who cares about adobo, no? But if you brand it like, this comes from my great grandmother, from wherever, with the serve, it's the way you market things. Make it big.
Hey, I'm Dino. I'm not supposed to be here. I just want to use the comfort room. I hold office here, by the way. I just bumped into this really nice discussion. I'm not an entrepreneur, not yet anyway, but I'm foodie. So as all of us probably are here. My question is really not on the nuts and bolts of the business. My question is, has media, traditional, mainstream, and social media, have been helpful in shaping the agenda for food industry in Cebu? I ask that question because in Manila, when you go to Manila, you just click Google. What are the best restaurants for this month? What are the kind of food that's being talked about by people? I couldn't get that in Cebu. So is there how has that been is that going to help drive the food growth in the long term, or is that something that we need to kind of cultivate in Cebu. There's nothing that drive that kind of talk, discussion, conversation. What's really happened in Cebu in terms of the food scene, in terms of the really food that's coming out, that's really making people talk. So I guess that's something that we need to. I don't know. So that's the one thing that I can really compare, no? Cebu and Manila, when you get that, you really want to know what's happening. But in Cebu, it's kind of there's not much that you get, no, from the in terms of social media talk about the kind of restaurants that's really, doing something exciting and the kind of food that people are talking about. There's none. So I think that also makes us kind of us who really love to eat. Parang there's not much to there's not much to be talking about. So that's my question to you. How do we do that kind of?
You can come to Sugbo Mercado. No, just kidding. No, actually, if you're saying social media has helped Sugbo Mercado in every way, 100%. Now, how has social media helped or is helping the industry? It's helping not only the food industry, it's curbing the whole world now. We have traditional business that bank on traditional media. Why am I going to pay 40,000 pesos just for one ad in the magazine when I can boost my content or my post for only $5? Not only boosting for $5, I know who I'm targeting. I can target Mandaue, 18 to 25, what hobbies they are. So people are going away from from traditional media to social media. But same thing a bit. Now going back to your question, like about the food business in Cebu.
How is the kind of social media talk shape the future of the food business here?
Social media is shaping the food industry here. Without social media, wow, we'll be in the dark ages. Even
maybe more aggressive in terms of citizen kind of push. Like people really talking about your kind of food. There's none. I couldn't.
I get you right
I'm
now.
looking for it, but I couldn't find it.
Well,
like in Manila, kasi when you just look at what's in a month, ano mga newest restaurants are coming out? What are the kind of food they're talking about?
I created this.
I think that's one thing we need to really kind of drive here.
I created this page like 2 months ago. When I do things as an entrepreneur, I look at the whole assembly line. No? Now in the food business, we're into the food business. So I created this page. I don't know if you're in it. If you're not in it, please add it now. Sir, please add it now. I know what you're going through. We don't have an app yet, but if you have discussion boards and the new restaurants, I created this page on Facebook. It's called Let's Eat By. So the members there, we're still 2,000 members. We're in collaboration with Let's Eat By in Manila, who have 14,000 strong members. Now this is the go-to page as of today in Cebu and in Manila. So we only have almost 2,000 members in Cebu, but all the restaurant owners, just add it, you'll see all the discussions. You'll see posts every R&R, discussions on how it is. I think that's what you're looking for. It's called Let's Eat and Buy, BAI. It's Facebook. It's a membership, it's a closed group, it's a members only group.
Or we need more food bloggers in Cebu.
You know what? Going to bloggers, okay. It's good you mentioned that thing. Like, I love bloggers. My sister, I don't know my sister, her name is Jaja Rama. She owns one of the biggest PR media company here in Cebu called Big Seed.
No more.
Okay. So, one of my partners is a food blogger. His name is the Hamburguero, Michael Carlin. So, what I noticed in Cebu, every time she has an event, it's all the same bloggers. Nothing with bloggers. They help us so much in the food business. But what we're creating now also, we're creating a group. I'm like marketing my new company. It's called Spotted Media. So what we're doing right now, that's how our mind works. Like you guys, that's how entrepreneurs work. Since you're based on the food market and social media is the one that's promoting it. So you're into social media now. I'm into social media now. So it's Spotted Media. We got this bunch of influencers. Who are influencers? We're not getting people who are known. We're getting people like anybody I see in my newsfeed in Facebook, but I go, kinsa man eh. Kada post niya, 800 likes, 500 likes. But, not really someone in the social circle or someone you see in magazines, but these are real likes. So what we're doing now is we're tapping all these people and making them rock stars of social media. And, making them more popular because they don't know what they're doing. They're just going about their day-to-day thing of posting.
Citizen participation.
Yeah, participation. But they don't know that they can be an influencer by saying, hey, check this best burger out, and everyone
Yeah.
go there and promote the business. So that's what we're doing to support in our own way our tenants at Sugbo Mercado. We created a page that says buy.
More structure maybe.
Exactly.
There's no structure.
Yeah.
Kind of put method into the madness. Something
Correct.
like that.
We're gonna go crazy with this business.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
If you guys have any questions regarding, if you guys were confused because I was going wayward when we talked like in the structured guidelines with Sugbo Mercado, please feel free to ask any questions.
Hi sir, my question will not be from the point of view of a parang food entrepreneur, but from an entrepreneur like you. So you've created this space for food entrepreneurs, and I just want to ask two questions. Number one is around how much was your ROI, return on investment, and number two, what was your net profit margin in percent?
Our non-profit,
Net profit
net
margin.
profit. Well, I be here today. No. Actually, okay. As I said, like the thing was when we started this business. So I said, like, if you're like our 20 tenants that started us, that was wow. That's PMA training there. English and I guess everything would be outsourced. Everything, tables, chairs, sound system, tents, everything. So after 8 months, we acquired everything now. I mean, I've been to quite a few business or different industries in up to now, from 28 up to now. We started this capital here with I think 100,000 pesos. Our net profit for a business model like this is 65%. Yeah. After acquiring everything. After acquiring. Without acquiring anything, 12%. 10 to 12%. So you see the disparity. And not only disparity, what we went through in a year and a half. In a year, me and my partner would be there every Thursday. Rain or shine, huh? Like lunchtime all the way till 3 a.m. Every day for 1 year. 1 year. We're very on hands when we do business. In fact, in our staff now, that's how on hands we are. We can hire a lot. But for Sugbo Mercado alone, we just have 3 regular staff. Our runner, our accountant, and our office and on-site manager. Office/on-site manager. If we hired more people now, the essence of Sugbo Mercado will be gone. Because magsugo-sugo sa big tao who don't have the real passion for entertaining the tenants and all. So yeah. Did I answer your question, right?
Yes, very well.
Yeah. Started out with 100,000 to pay some suppliers that we didn't have a relationship with. But most of them I did so in like 30 days or 60 days even to pay. To begin with, we really had a hard time. I'll tell you, super hard time. There's even one time like, so when we started this garden block, after 3 months they said, JP, we have to close you down. Huh? And our contract, my goodness, that time like, Pagtiwas make 2 weeks, so we have the deposits and the cash. We have to refund all these tenants, no? But they had to close us down. Why? Because after 3 months of opening, they had so many calls and inquiries now. We want to rent. Hence, because of us, they called it the garden block. So from our first, we started first in Shaka, where Shaka is, na ilang running pahas. Then we became in the middle. Then kami is the last. So we opened the place, but kami giliho, but holdings are there, partners, but timing also we moved near the parking lot. We're near the parking lot. So that's our final space there. So yeah, a lot of companies have called us from Philinvest to Mega World to put up shop in their real estate developments to make their place more marketable. But that was before, when we did SRP and Cebu Business Park, but now we're just maintaining this model. Weekend food market and everyday food market. So after we open the market in North Reclamation by first quarter next year, we're going to duplicate this model right away in Mactan, then go outside to Magete, Iloilo, Cagayan, Davao. We're going to replicate this. 2, as again, not because of the 65%, to advocate this to the entrepreneurs. We believe, like right now it's just too much. For me, it's too much, no? I mean, we are so skilled. We graduated a 4-year course and then we don't practice it. You know, as I said, in less than 2 years, we created already 10 businessmen that have branches all over SM, Ayala, Galleria. You know, we bring, how more can you be grassroots level in doing business? So bring you back, even you're a millennial or a Gen X, doing business, compete against 60 tenants, rain or shine, an open air food market, ingress and egress, and having fun while you're at it. And then making them gana. I mean, nothing against, nothing against the call centers, but you know, if you're gonna graduate a 4-year course, come on, let's be the boss somewhere down the line, no? Or be skilled at whatever. You know, I want to bring back Cebu, because we're skilled, to be in the Cebu we are, how entrepreneurial we can be. Let's not Manila come over here and do business. I'm just kidding.
Any other questions?
Now, actually here, Manila actually paved the way. Without Manila coming in here and putting up the industries, we'd still be paying graphic artists 100 pesos per poster. No, seriously. Kung rin put yung visa, they'd be paying graphic artists, like, maybe you haggle them down. But with the Manila industries coming in, thanks to them, like, you know, they benchmarking the industry, so it makes us more competitive. Yeah. Cebuanos are very laid back. As I said, the Mactan's is right there, Top's right there. So it puts us on our feet.
Hi, Sir JP. So, me again. Okay, so I'm looking at the, say, I mean, related to the birthing pain earlier. I'm a small business that runs basically in social media. I boost ads and I draw audiences and players from there. So how much different that will be in the food industry will be exactly in where the consumption is and the physical aspect. So for example, a small entrepreneur like me, how much would I need to run a business for, let's say, 6 months, to test a concept for 6 months? How much would I have to say, how much of my life savings would I have to bet, for example,
20,000 pesos. Because that's why you started at 20,000 pesos. That's how we support some the entrepreneurs in the rental side of the business. Is because they give us 4 equal PTCs. The first one is part of your capital, so that's 9,250 plus your capital expenditures, which is what? Your tarpaulin, your deep fryer, your rice cooker. Now every week, in hindsight, in a perfect world, what's supposed to fund your check, your rental check to us, is your gross profit.
Right.
Now, if it doesn't work, I mean, as I said, you have to go back to the drawing board. In a month, and after 2 months, if you've been losing like more than 30,000 pesos, that means you gotta stop. Even after a month, diba?
Okay, that particularly brings me to the very essence of the question. When I said 6 months, because in my experience, I've gone a year of being break even, for example. I had to persevere. So, for example, in that case, I say 6 months because there's so much that can happen within a month, within 2 months. So, say if I am, as an entrepreneur, to fail for my first 6 months, how much will it cost me?
Not to fail, to learn more, diba?
To learn more, yeah.
After 6 months, if you have, as I said, like, that's a very gray question, because like, as an entrepreneur, you're asking me how much should I spend for 6 months? I'm telling you like 20,000. Because after 20,000, I should be earning profit if I'm successful or if I'm gaining profit. If I'm failing, the most, let's say, okay, we'll just, to your question, I'll add another proponent. Let's add a figure there so we can, not debate, just so we can talk figuratively. Let's put 20,000 pesos.
Yes.
Okay, in 6 months, the most that you should spend, if we have to talk with tangible item, it's about half of that. So 6 months, 6 times 20, that's 120,000 pesos a month. Half of that, 60,000. 50%. Always got lost. Like in blackjack, there's an insurance bet. I always get 50. So the more you spend, is 60,000.
Okay.
Now, after which, failures can be, there can be a time like timing. It's an open air food market. That's why I said this is the best way to do a food business, open air. Like right now, it's raining, We're the only, how we protect our tenants. We can just leave them alone. But now we have your checks. Let's go out. Let's drink. Where's that brewery? Where's that beer? No, but what do we do? Every 3 months we repave it. We put gravel on top. What we did now, we paved the whole thing. So kung mabasa, so if you notice, even kung uwan kayo, the rain goes high. So we place pavers. What did we do even? We place covered dining tents. What did we do even now? We bought all the tables, make it more Instagrammable. It's all wooden finish.
Right, I noticed.
You notice? See, we don't have to do these things at all. I mean, if we're businessmen, kung na kami board of directors, we'd be fired a long time ago. Like I said, we're entrepreneurs. We're there to help the business stay longer and for you to succeed. In Mercado and Salcedo, for every for every table of 6, that's to 3 tenants. Per tenant, you have 3 tables. We have 900 seating. We're bigger than any food market in Cebu. Our timeline when our peak goes high is from 6:30 to 9:30. That's 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. Our turnover time, to 10. Let's see our 30 minutes. Our turnover time is every 30 minutes. So that's 900 every 30 minutes. Because you go there, you can't even sit, diba? So that's 9, 18, 27, 36, 54. 55. So I'm saying we have 4,500 a night. Let's say 4,000 people a night. Minimum lang, conservative lang yun nato. That's 200 pesos spending per average. That's 800,000 in the food market per night. So if you divide that with 60 tenants, diba, it can sustain. But some go high. As I said, some make 45, 40,000. Some make 6,000. But it's even amount. So yeah.
Okay. To that, so this is 20 a month that you have to prepare for. Well, of course, aside from the capital expenses, right? So that's what we're getting into.
Yes.
20 a month.
20 a month, and you're open. 20 a month maximum, Because how much is one deep fryer? A deep fryer now is like single deep fryer is like 1,750. Let's say 2,000. Rice cooker, microwaves, how much? That's less than 20,000. Targeting backdrop 5x6. That's 1,200 or even less. Depends on supply mo. 20,000 pesos is maximum. Max.
So those are for the tangible expenses there. How about the rent?
The rent's part of the 20,000.
No,
tanan.
It's the whole booth.
As I said, to open a stall with your equipment, with your inventory, with your design, with your 1 week deposit to us or advance to us, it's 20,000 already.
Okay, I understand.
I guess it's pretty affordable, diba?
Yes. I expected at least 100K.
I'll break it down. In 1 month, it's 37,000. So in 4 weeks, that's 9,250. All you have to give me or us is your 9,250 because the other second, third, and fourth week will be paid for your operations,
right,
to fund your check. Now 9,250 minus 20,000, you have more or less say 11,000 more to spend. 11,000 will comprise of your deep fryer, your rice cooker, your microwave, your tarpaulin, your flyers, your lights.
Okay. Last question. Yakiniku, diba? Shabu-shabu, for example, is such a creative stretch possible in Sugbo Mercado? Kanang mag-sugba-sugba sa labisa?
Oh yeah. Pwede na. But di na pwede sugba-sugba sa lamisa. We provide you a grilling area. So the grilling area, if you notice, is where surf and ribs are. It's all grilling line. And then, like for example, if you say Japanese, one of our tenants there, anchor tenants, Tokyo Street. They have their ramen for 65 pesos. So nisud si Kusha. Kusha for me is one of the best ramen in Cebu. They're located in JY Square. That's from Fukuoka. They opened with us, and when they opened up with us, they even made more money than what they were making. But now, I think you know what? A lot of people opened with us. Like even Starbucks called me in December. JP, can we do a pop-up? Starbucks doing a pop-up in Cebu. Like, di ba?
The opposite exact.
We said food tasting first. Just joking. No. Anyways, like, big brands don't really work in the food market. As I said, even if you're big, I've seen them like close within a month. Because people go there, the dynamic of a food market is constant change. And people like the novelty of finding new, creating new, and having an adventure to new finds. So by as I said, diba, it's deviating from the mall. It's like, to Sugbo Mercado, nasa siya. So people, diba, I get that.
Okay, thank you.
Last question.
Hi JP, Sir Jay Alliger
Okay.
at the Islands back in 2008 to 2010. So I worked with him closely, and I know that one of his greatest influences is Richard Branson. So I was wondering if you also have a similar influence or a person you would consider your
Jay
mentor.
is my mentor when it comes to branding and marketing. Because me, I'll talk all day. We can talk all night right now. But Jay can just give me a one-liner, and that's it. And change everything. In fact, before I started this, I just met with Jay a couple days ago, actually. When I started this, Sugbo Mercado, I went to him, I go, what advice can you give me? So, this and that. Jay is he's one of the best creative minds you'll ever meet here in the Philippines. Like, with the business he's been through and the concepts he's done. And I think it trickled down to his son, Anton Aldeguer, who created Jalapella and Papa Churros. Until now, they're still doing great. They're franchising now, actually. Yeah, so going back, like my mentor when it comes to marketing and concepts is Jay. Thank you. You sure? Anyone?
Any final question?
Last question.
Yeah, see you next week in the office for food tasting, huh? The best burger.
Okay, just can you tell us like the top, I don't know, top 3 or top 5 top question or top doubts that you encountered, top reasons why it would not work before you put together Sugbo Mercado? Like the rain, one on mo, or whatever.
I'm very positive na. I mean, walay hamburger. I always thought it would do good. In the beginning, it's so stressful, very stressful. I'll just be transparent. I like this kind of session. Like, this community sessions. I like it very much. I'll be transparent. Even some part of mine told me, yung mga tanan, stress out kay ko. Diba, just keep your shares to trust me. Do good. Why? I just said, how will something like this fail na you're giving a venue? And this time, we saw it Manjodan, like food stalls opening up, but there's no venue. You're in Ayala, you're in the ID Park, your traffic. Okay, going back to traffic. Your traffic's already the call centers alone. How many thousands of people are there?
Right.
And plus, there's a lot of establishments there, but come on, I can't afford, McDonald's every day. Here we had, the time in open, we had, one of our stalls na kusugay is like, Show My Love. Show My, one of the popular stalls in Labacan, I think. And, diba, for 60 pesos, okay, now it pusok. Yeah.
Right.
So we were confident that would do good. The rain, we saw the rain come in, and then that's when we always said it now, the only thing against us in an open air food market, the only thing is the rain, which we can't do. So I went through this thing, and we all went through this thing for months. Like, that's to say, oh, you wanna, do we do a refund? I go, it's not in the contract. Actually, the contract, we read it, right? It's only if Pag-asa would announce signal number 1. But there are sometimes, like last year, June, when you open Cebu Business Park, that day when you open, there's a flash flood like now. The time you got flooded, the whole Cebu, I don't you remember that, last year, June? What did we do? We had to call it. They go, we can't just say, well, I signal number one, bahala na. We called it, we said, don't come. But there's some tenants already. We said, we refunded some. We don't refund. That time we didn't refund. We gave an extra day. So we're like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We made it next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So to take care of those, we tried our best to to find a solution for every. Wow, you're dealing with an open air food market. It's really you can't predict anything, no. So for everything, we always found a solution to it.
Just make it happen.
Exactly. That's it. You're listening well, huh? You gotta make it happen. Stick to your concept and make it happen.
Sir, I just came in late. Sorry for that. I operate Mabolo Banking House, and the concept, if I'm going to join the Sugbo Mercado, will be different from what our concept that we have now, because it's a takeout. Everything is takeout, and it's volume, big sizes like party size or family size. So, I just want to know also if do you advise the entrepreneur if the concept that we will be adopting is applicable to Sugbo Mercado?
Any food concept we have is always applicable. But we tell our tenants or partners when they come in Sugbo Mercado also, no matter, let's say, go back into the best burger na, because there's talking about food concept like that. You cannot just serve it on the rack, no? It has to be interaction. There should be some interaction there. Just like people like, when they go to the food market, they want to see some action. Either you cook it, you deep fry it, or whatever. Going back to your question, ma'am, about the bami, of course, we will accept food concepts like yours. But going back, namoy, iluto ninyo sa Sugbo Mercado, no? You'll cook it on site, the bami. You cook it on site.
I have to think it.
Yeah, there should be some action because you cannot just serve it on a shaping dish. Most of our customers don't really go for that. There should be, it should be cooked on site, and they're willing to wait 10 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever. But yes, please. I mean, like as I said, please try it out in the market and see how profitable or marketable you can make your food product at Sugbo Mercado.
So you have two locations now, the one in beside Landers. And,
It's not ours. It's a Fiesta Minore. Fiesta Minore, yeah. Fiesta Minore, and the one beside Cebu Sports Club or Cebu Holdings is called Fiesta Tinda Local.
I inquired months ago. I think that was in June. And the rental was something like 25,000 a month. Is that still the same?
Ano, in the other food market, in Sugbo Mercado, madam, we're 37,000 pesos a month from Thursdays to Sundays, 4 times a week, 16 times a month. And that's weekly, ha? So if it becomes 5 weeks, it becomes 40,000 plus a month.
How big is the space?
5 square meters. That's 3 by 2. I'm sorry, 6 square meters. 3 by 2.
And the time is 5
p.m. to 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
Yes. I'll give you my card after, so.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I would like to thank everyone who made it here, and we would also like to mention Cebu Brewery for providing our beer for tonight. And thank you guys for making it very interactive. So if you have more questions, you can freely approach JP if you want to already start your stall next week. Yeah, so feel free, and thank you, and we will see you again for the next Startup Grind.